good evening. It is already not happening. The 13th of October. If anyone noticed me being a bit bizarre last week, I only sort of just watched my video. Yeah, I ended up with a migraine, so turns out I was a little loopy, and I'm sorry if you actually made it through that. So yeah, ended up getting a migraine, was knocked out for the rest of the week. Unfortunately, it's nothing medication or magic piercings can fix, it's stress, so just gotta try and work through it. But it did allow me to watch a bit of Flosstube when I was awake, so I have caught up on some of my subscriptions. I also discovered someone new, so I guess I'm doing a shout out now. Jen Crafts, gonna link her below. Love. Think she just put out her 8th video today. Yeah, love your work. Sorry if I can't remember exactly what you're stitching right now because it's been a week. Love it anyway. Love you. Coffee. But pretend coffee, don't worry about it. It's decaf. I'll get into it. Little bit of happy mail. I don't know if anyone remembers, I got these for my beads, and the beads like barely covered the bottom. Turns out I did order the wrong size. This is the size that I wanted. So yes, the beads again barely cover the bottom, but it's not quite as ridiculous looking as it was in one of these. So I beaded up all 4 packets of beads that I own. Whoa, that is not... The lids stay on properly. Point for the containers. I ended up peeling off the labels and sticking them to the front. Wasn't sure if that's what I was going to do. Still not 100% convinced, but for now it works. And I'm actually really excited to build up my bead collection. Yeah, pretty cool. I ordered the wrong size. It wasn't the... I don't know where to put them now. It wasn't the company. It was me. But anyway, I will put a... this thing distracting me. I know you don't care, but it's distracting. I'll put a photo in here. Now, this is the design I worked on for Annette. I don't know if you can tell by the photo, but it's not quite finished. I didn't receive enough of the silver. Wasn't the biggest fan of this one. I struggled to stitch on it because Hessian, it's stinky and scratchy and falls apart everywhere, and it was just horrible. And it was actually a completed cushion cover, so I had to then work through the zip hole, so that was just a nightmare. I was working with wool rather than floss, so that was different. Only half stitches, which is something I don't do. So yeah, that one was actually quite a struggle, and I've got my little hunter in the background. Yeah, so that one was a struggle. Not sure if I'll jump into the next one. I've got November coming up, so no, I think I'll put it on a bit of hiatus for a bit. Once I got that sent though, I got to do a bit of stitching of my own, and I have not 1 but 2 finishes. So exciting. Connie G, Tiny Sal. I love Connie G's stuff. Like, you guys probably know if you've watched like any of my videos. Absolutely adored this, and I am so sad that it took me, I think, to the second last one before I realized that why isn't it focusing? Come on. No. The sort of outside border of all of them are the same. So I was sitting there counting everyone, but well worth it. Absolutely love. I will have a close-up picture on Instagram if you want to look at it, but Connie G, get on it. Amazing. So yes, a finish. So excited. And one that I didn't expect to finish actually, and I wasn't even going to pick it up. I finished that one this morning, and was just going to hang until I recorded my video. But I decided instead of just watching Flosstube, I would pick up stitching, and I have another finish. This way. Coffee time sale. I have my first finish. If you saw it last time, it was just a bee. This was such a quick stitch. As I said, did it all today. Absolutely love. Was a bit nervous about the variegated floss I picked, but love how it turned out. But first, coffee. So I finished that one, and I don't know if I want to start one of the others or whether I want to work on something else. In my mind, the sale, in case you didn't know, sale with Kerry and Stitches, KT Coffee Time sale. In my mind, it was all 3 pieces. That's just me because I'm a completionist. I'm so happy with how this turned out. The only thing I don't like, and this is the design and my OCD and nothing else, there's another stitch on the coffee cup. So there's 3 spaces over here from the steam and 4 over here, and it's bugging me. It didn't look that bad on the pattern, but doing the chart, it's like frustrating me. The only way I can sort of fix it, I guess, is taking a row of stitches out, which would mean pretty much unstitching all of it, so I'm not going to. Hopefully I'll deal. But yes, I finished it. And again, I'll have a photo of this on my Instagram. What else? I did some reading. A couple of videos ago, I mentioned that I was doing a book club with my sister. This is the second month. Wow, it's only, yeah, second month we've done it. I do have 3 books because she's an absolute darling and a little bit of an idiot, but love her anyway. She sent me 2 books this month because she was concerned that last month's book of mine cost more, but anyway. First month, I don't know if I spoke about it. I was sent to Fetch a Thief. It was interesting. Definitely not something I would have picked for myself. It wasn't bad, but it was a bit of a struggle to read. Don't think it's a spoiler alert to say that it's written from the point of view of a dog, because the whole thing's written in the point of view of a dog, so you read the first sentence and you know. That was tough getting used to. I could see what the author was doing, but I think they took it a bit too far with human language and the way the dog didn't understand. The actual story, I'd say the first third of it was building up to a 1 paragraph resolution at the end. It was kind of unnecessary, and the bulk of the book, to Fetch a Thief, it's kind of mystery. The bulk of the book was actually the last 10%. It was like a third completely irrelevant to the rest of the story, then it was dragging, and then the last 10% was just yeah, so I don't know if I'd recommend it, but it wasn't bad. Now, next one, Beautiful Disaster, this way. This has been on my to read for a while. Don't know why I haven't gotten around to it. It was good. It was one of the ones that you sort of, you know the ending. Boy meets girl type of thing. There was a little bit of a, not suspense, but there, I don't know how to say it without spoiling it. The resolution in my mind happened too early, and then they sort of threw something else in. Not unnecessary. It was a good book, enjoyable, but yeah, it was predictable. Not that that's a bad thing. And then the last one is Mystic City. This one, I guessed a lot. I don't know. I don't do this in TV shows or movies, but when I read books, I guess, like, something happened and like, oh, this is gonna listen. I don't know why. I guessed a lot of what was happening. There was one thing that caught me off guard. Didn't realize there was a second book, so I was very let down at the ending until I realized there is a continuum. It did just end though. Like I'm all for cliffhangers, but that one was a bit too much. Yeah, not sure if I'll read the second book. Like, I didn't mind the world. I guess like it was enjoyable, but I don't know if I like it that much. It's not one of the books that I've put down and immediately gone looking for a second, or like I just sent her a message like it just ended. And then there's a third book, but it's only available on Audible, and the second book's not available on Audible, so you can't actually read all three books in the same medium, which just drives me insane. So I don't know if I will read the second. But yeah, so enjoyable book so far. Interesting to see sort of what she's recommending to me. She's being a bit hesitant, I think, worrying about what I'd like instead of just sending me what she wants, which is what the whole point of it is. The book I really want to send her is no longer available on Kindle, so that's frustrating. But yeah, going good. I haven't actually read anything else because things have been insane. I really, really, really want to read 2 books. I'm a year behind on John Green. Turtles All the Way Down, and Hank Green has had an absolutely remarkable thing just released. I say just released, it's been a month. And that's just not good enough for me. Like, normally when a favourite author releases a book, it's done. Like, I've read it that day. But anyway, reading, getting a little bit done, and that's all you can ask for. As far as cross-stitching, I don't know my plans. I've got 2 ATCs to stitch. I've got the one for this month, and then I'm also doing a MIA stitch for them. So that's fun, but I won't be able to show you until I receive them. Haven't stitched them anyway. Haven't seen that Sarah's received last month's one from me yet either. That's a bit concerning. Fingers crossed it makes it. Posty hates me. I'm crinkle crinkle. Really want to work on this, but I'm also wondering if maybe my eyesight is causing my headaches because I've lost my reading glasses. So I've got to have really good light to work on that because it's 32 or 36 and I'm doing 1/1. One thing that I didn't know if I was going to tell you guys yet because I'm not 100% certain, but I may as well. I think I'm changing the count of fabric that I use for my Hades. Up until this year, like granted, on and off, been stitching for 10 years, nothing finished. I thought 18 count was my thing. That's all I wanted to buy. That's all I was comfortable with. Parking across the row isn't my thing. It's such slow going. Like, if anyone knows a Heaven and Earth design, especially because most of my charts are max color, I'm having to change pretty much every stitch. And that was okay if that was my only choice. But I actually have some 28 count fabric on the way, and I think I'm going to do all my Hades on them instead, so I can go back to extreme cross country, because I do miss it. I love my floss cards, they're handy, but I also love only having to take one colour, maybe two if I'm at the end. It's how I've stitched forever. Like, every time I pick up my stitching, I do one colour at a time, and I miss it, and I think I'm going back to it. I have got a scrap, if I can, should have had this ready. Was given a scrap of 28 count to play with, super tiny, and like, you won't be able to tell because I can't even tell difference between 2/1 and 1/1. Well, actually, you kind of can there. Has anyone stitched on 28 count? Is 2/1 too thick? Like, obviously this isn't going to give me a huge indication. Would prefer it full coverage rather than a little bit peeking out. Like, I mean, I'm doing 3/1 on 18 count because I can't stand any spots. So I think I'm going to do 2/1 on 28 count, which means I can go back to my loop method and pretty much go back to what is happy for me. The fabric will take a while. I buy it on AliExpress, so it's got like a 3 to 6 week window. But yeah, does anyone have a lot of experience with 28 count? Can you tell me if 2/1 is too much? I'll probably do a quick stitch or a story keep first to test the waters, so to speak, before I dive into my supersize. But I really want to start Fairy Bubbles. Like, she is not quite my unicorn chart because, like, she was the first chart I bought, but like, she is what got me into cross stitching, and I need to stitch her. So hell, maybe I'll just jump in with 2/1. It can't be worse than 3/1 on 18. So yeah, hopefully that arrives soon, because now that I've got the idea in my head, that's all I want to do, but waiting for post. Yeah, so my plans this week, because it's here, I'm probably going to keep working on quotes. I think this is the furthest gone whip that I currently have. It's not saying much because it's really not that far gone. Continue working on the whatever that is. It's gonna bother me. I'll put it here because I've forgotten again. Apparently it's too hard for my brain. ATCs, which may or may not be able to show you, and the stitch along starts in like 15 hours. I have gridded my fabric. I wasn't going to because I thought it was small, but knowing me, I would miscount. So fabric is gridded, floss is ready. Now I've just got to wait for the East Coast to catch up with my time zone, because it's released now their time. So yeah, I think I figured out it's midday tomorrow for me, which I won't actually be able to start straight away because we're going to lunch for Samuel's birthday early, but we have a lot of family to fit in. I think that's going to do it for me. Pretty sure I covered everything. No, I didn't. Another sale I had forgotten about because I am the worst, with Kate Lantry, the Queen of Starts, I'm pretty sure is her. Again, I should know this. I'm pretty sure it's the Queen of Starts. Kate Lantry. Not going to come up that way. Let's go Queen of Starts. You are probably all yelling at me. Yes, the Queen of Starts. We are doing a sale on the 25th of every month. At the moment, we're doing Connie G. I don't know if we've got a hashtag yet. If we do, I'll put it there. Super disorganized. Yeah, I'm going to leave it at that because I've probably just wasted 20 minutes of your time, and I'm sorry. And I'll see you next week. Bye, guys.